When it comes to attracting leads to your business, there is no substitute for content that teaches your audience something valuable. Watch this video to discover how you can share valuable knowledge through different types of content. My name is Katerina. Every week I share a video on copywriting or content marketing to help you get better at your job. Subscribe to this channel so you never miss a new video. In this video we'll talk about why you need to share knowledge through content, 3 purposes of educational content, and 6 types of content by purpose. Before we get into it, let me ask you a question. What type of content works best for achieving your goals? Let me know in the comments below and let's chat about it. Now let's get back to it. According to one research, consumers are 131% more likely to buy from a brand immediately after they consume educational content. That's because educational content helps you build trust and generate an authentic interest in your brand. The main purpose of educational content is to share knowledge. You can use different types of content to deliver this knowledge, including blog posts, videos, podcasts, ebooks, presentations. You can check out my video about the types of content, which I will link to at the end of this video. The simplest way to share educational content is through a series of blog posts. These blog posts may have the following goals. They can either explain the term, concept, or idea, move readers towards a certain point of view or opinion, or inspire them on an emotional level. Let's look at the types of content that can help you achieve these goals. Content to explain. Definition. This type of content moves beyond dictionary definition and examines the term, idea, or concept in detail. In other words, it includes both a definition and an analysis of the term. A good definition article always provides a sort of assertion, a main point that the author wants to put across. When you write a definition article, you shouldn't assume that your audience knows what's important to read about this definition. You should let your audience know why it's important to learn about this concept. Most often, you need a definition article to explain the concept before you make an argument about it. What is a slogan, tagline video on my channel is an example of a definition type of content. More examples can include: what is solar power? What is digital transformation and why it's inevitable? What people misunderstand about yoga? Content to persuade. Problem solution. This type of content is based on the problem that people are looking to solve and possible solutions to this problem. It's one of the most effective types of content for lead generation. A problem solution piece should clearly describe the ultimate goal that the reader is looking to achieve and explain why it's so hard to achieve it. When presenting solutions, you should include data, facts, examples, and your own experience to prove that these solutions work. A good problem solution type of content also includes your unique approach to solving a given problem. Most videos on my channel are a problem solution type of content. For example, how to find a killer content ideas relevant to your audience, how to pick a blog niche, call to action examples to optimize conversions on your blog. Here are some more examples of problem solution blog posts. How to build a high-performance software development team. Make your site load faster with this 15-point checklist. Generating content marketing leads in healthcare, our approach. Argumentation. This type of content is based on a clear argument, a claim that the author is trying to get the reader to accept, and evidence, facts that show to the reader that the claim is true. Argumentation content is always fact-based, but it also allows some creative expression. A good argumentation piece also includes your own opinions and expertise. Many argumentation pieces start with why. For example, my video, "Why do so many content writers suck? Here's who to blame," is an argumentation type of content. Here I wanted to argue that companies that hire content writers are more responsible for content quality than content writers are. Other examples of argumentation pieces include: why fasting is good for you, why most people will never get rich, why solar is the future of energy. Comparison. Comparison content focuses on similarities and differences between one or several things. The goal of this content is to help the reader understand the differences and choose the best option. It's a perfect type of content for solution-aware readers who are comparing options before choosing a product or service. For example, top SEO keyword research tools compared, Hemingway versus Grammarly, what's the best tool for writers, where to learn content writing on YouTube, 10 best channels. One of the most popular videos on my YouTube channel, copywriter versus content writer versus technical writer versus UX writer versus more who to hire, is an example of comparison content. Content to inspire. Example. A great way to explain a complex problem in a way that makes it easy for readers to understand is by showing an example. Example content includes case studies, tutorials, and even personal stories that talk about your experience achieving something or failing at something and list the lessons you've learned. Example content can look like a how-to guide, but it should be based on a specific example and not be just a general list of steps. For example, how to write a landing page, practical guide, a small garden design case study, how we solved shopping cart abandonment and increased conversions. I always incorporate examples in my videos, but I don't really have a video built entirely on an example. That's something I can think of. Story. Many content creators build their content brands entirely around stories. For example, I'm a big fan of a podcast called The Startup by Gimlet Media. It's a documentary series about starting a business where the author shares his own story of creating a podcasting company. Another great storytelling example is an Italian podcast, Storie di Brand by Max Corona, where the author shares stories of famous brands like Gucci, Marvel, Monopoly, Maserati, and others. My video, What Copywriters Can Learn from David Ogilvy, has some elements of narration. So there you have it, the most effective types of content by purpose. Definition articles to explain, problem solution, argumentation, and comparison articles to persuade, examples and stories to inspire. If you have any questions about content types or its purposes, or you want to see more videos like this, just post a comment underneath this video. Don't forget to give this video a like. I've got more content coming out every week, so you definitely want to subscribe to this channel for more useful stuff on copywriting and content marketing. I also have daily writing tips on Instagram, so make sure you follow me there too. All the links are in the description below. I'll see you next time with a new video. Thank you for watching. Я Катерина. До зустрічі!